Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
You know, we've said it before, it really is possible to communicate or at least interpret what our animals, our pets, are trying to say. One thing we haven't really dug deep into with this amazing animal communicator is body language. A lot of it comes from the movement, the signs, the signals that our pets are trying to show us. We're not picking up on it. We're going to focus on body language today with animal communicator Shirley Scott, who joins us once again. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Steve. Hope you're doing well, too.
I'm fine. Yeah, I a little raspy on the voice, getting a tail end of a cold. Did I say tail?
Exactly.
You have an uncanny sense of being able to interpret not just the telepathy, if you will, coming from an animal, but the body language. Can we go into that today a little bit deeper?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, I do my work from phone, and, you know, I'm not in the same room with an animal 99% of the time. And so I have to rely on telepathy and what they're showing me. But, you know, parents of animals, you're in the room with them, and animals will try so hard to communicate with us through their body language. You know, and an example is a dog. You know, if they're feeling not at ease of where they are, they might be scared, their tail is going to be between their legs, and they're going to be sort of hunkered down. Also, their eyes, if you watch a dog's eyes, their eyes dilate when they're upset, angry, you know, even when they're about to bite, their eyes will dilate. Their ears usually go back a little bit. And you have to really be in that present moment with them to see this. You know, dogs and cats, animals are in the present moment. And so if they are exhibiting things like that, you have to watch, and that way you can stop what you're doing and try to make them feel better. You know, you don't want to go near a horse if his ears are pinned back, because he may pin you back. And their eyes, too, will look very dilated, and their tail usually swishes pretty good to let you know that they are either scared or upset or angry. You know, cats are great little things that, you know, you can see a cat coming, and usually a cat's tail is down and relaxed. And as they come toward you, if they're going to be friendly, their tail will come right up, and it will stand straight up. If they're coming at you and their tail is not coming up, that's a sign that you probably need to watch what they're doing. And, you know, most cats, when they're in a cat fight, you know, their ears are pinned back, their eyes, again, are dilated,
Yep.
and hair is standing up. So these are all signs, you know, that they're not feeling very safe or they're angry. Deer will snort and stomp the ground almost like a horse, and you can hear them when they're not feeling safe or they're angry at something. You know, if you're approaching them and you're too close. And a lot of people think, well, a deer can't hurt you, but a deer's hooves are like razor blades, and if they get close enough to you, they can whack you and really do some damage. So it's really up to us to watch what animals are doing. You know, birds, a lot of parrots and parakeets, their head will bob up and down when they're happy, but it will also do it when they're not feeling safe. And it's up to us to kind of watch that. You know, what are their wings doing, and what, you know, if the feathers are up, what does that mean? So you don't have to be an animal communicator in the sense of always getting telepathic messages. You know, some people tell me, well, I can't get pictures. I'm not good at picturing things in my head. Or some people say, well, I just don't get it. Well, if you watch the animal, they will tell you. You know, my dog, when she walks up to me and she looks me right in the eye, and I'll say, what do you want? She really, if she wants a goodie, she will look right at the goodie locker we've got, or she'll walk over to it and sit in front of it. So animals understand what you are saying to them probably more than what they're trying to get back at you. But body language is really, really important. And it's something that everybody can watch and learn in the moment, because once you acknowledge that that animal is either afraid, upset, angry, if you stop and look around at the circumstances, what are you doing? What is somebody else doing? What is going on? When I was the trainer for the Dogs in Prison program in Walla Walla, if there was a lot of noise around, or if the inmates were starting to feel like they might fight each other, my trainers would come to see my dog went under the bed, under the cot, and I would say, yeah, because they felt that energy. So animals will feel an energy around, and it's up to us to watch them in that very present moment. And most animals their eyes will do something. Their eyes will usually dilate.
Is that pretty standard for most animals?
It is. It is. And that's why animals watch our eyes. Because our eyes, when we get upset, we don't notice it, but our eyes will dilate a little bit too because of the adrenaline flow and the emotion that's going on. And so like a dog can look you in the eye and see your pupils start to dilate, and they know immediately that you are upset or in fear, or if they can trust you or not. So animals' eyes tell a lot, and we kind of need to be in tune with what their eyes are doing.
Do you feel that each individual animal has its own little way of communicating? Like, for example, my dog may do something that your dog doesn't do, but if we pick up on it, we can see the little subtleties?
Yes, absolutely. People will say to me, well, I have a German Shepherd, and you know how they are. I'm like, well, okay, that's like saying, I have a son, you know how they are. Because every individual dog, cat, whatever, has their own little quirks, and they study us so much that they absolutely will know how to get their message across to their owner. It's amazing to watch them because they will pick up on what we have learned from them. And so every dog has something different.
What's the best way of communication when you really want to send a message to your animal? Is it telepathically? Is it showing a certain movement? What do you think is the best way?
The best way is actually your body language and telepathy. Animals will learn words after we repeat them and show them. They'll learn sit because they know that we're going to, we want their little butt to put on the ground or, stay. But they don't know, all the things that we talk about. So if you have your body language, like when you say I love you to them, if it's relaxed and you're sending them love, they will get that energy, and they get that relaxation energy and that love. And they will read that before they absolutely learn what the word love means, or kisses, or something like that. So our body language will tell them a lot in the moment before even we say anything.
What was your biggest communication surprise? Do you remember back, that one moment where it was like, wow, this works?
Oh, geez, there's been so many of them. It's really hard. I think that in a lot of times, I'm still amazed at what animals will get from me and understand. But I think when you get, especially when you're doing it long distance, and you're talking to a client and you say, this is what they like the best, and the dog, I've had this happen where the dog is saying, well, I like this ball the best, because the people were asking what his favorite toy was. And I said to the animal, you like that toy, well, go get it. And the dog went right to the box, his toy box, and picked out the ball and went over and dropped it in front of the client's feet. And I think the client was blown away too. But, some of those aha moments when an animal really does something that you're telling it to do, asking it to do, or they are telling you something. And it happens all the time, and people are just like, I can't believe it, you know? Yeah.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the, the ball. One of my cats, I'm not sure which one it is now carrying a tennis ball all the way upstairs and leaving it at the bedroom door. And I think it's the cutest thing.
They're bringing you a present.
Like it's a mouse. I believe you're right.
Yep. And cats will do that with their toys. You know, that's to show you how much they love you, and they're bringing you a gift. And you know, the best thing that you can do is pick it up and tell them thank you, and stroke them, and give them that aha. You know, I don't do that with a mouse because I have some cats that bring me mice. But I do thank them, and I don't let them see me throw it away. So yeah.
You know, I never even thought of what you just said, because a lot of times I'll just pick it up and I'll just, throw it back down the stairs. But you're right. It was intentionally done. I should be appreciating it, and I don't.
Yeah. And don't reject their gift. You know, pick it up and hold it in your hands. Tell them thank you. You know, put it someplace where, it's like you've accepted it, and then later take it back downstairs,
Yeah.
And because a lot of times animals will get their feelings hurt about if they bring you a gift and you just sort of reject it, that does hurt their feelings. And in their world, it's like, what did I do wrong? I was bringing, a gift to you.
And it's not a one-off. They've done it, multiple times. So it's truly intentional. They're doing it for a reason. Absolutely.
They want you to know that they love you, and look what I caught for you. Look, I'm bringing it to you. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. Yeah.
What are some of the other signs that we should be aware of? Anything else stand out for you?
The body language is good, but also noises. If you really get in touch with your animal, I know my dog when her happy bark, it's happy, it's greeting. I know her bark when she sees a raccoon and wants to scare him away. It's much deeper and meaner. And there's so many influctuations of animal noises. The cats are the same way. They can have, little meows, happy meows. They can have, growls. And we need to really tap into those, because that with their body language will tell us so much about what they're going through. Even, pain, cats are really good at hiding pain. But every now and then, you'll get maybe a little kind of a squeak, and it's like, I don't feel well. So if we can put the body language together with the sound, that's two of the biggest ways to communicate with your animals that's easiest for the human. Because telepathy is not always that easy. And, of course, pheromones, we don't even smell them. We're not really aware of the pheromones that they smell. And animals see energy many times. And, of course, we can't. Most people can't. I can, but a lot of psychics can. But they feel the energy. So the two best ways is to watch their body language and listen to them. And once you start acknowledging those two ways of communication, it's going to be amazing how they respond to you, because they already watch you and your body language and, what you're doing, your sounds, and they already know how to respond to those. So those two ways to really start, and then the telepathy will come after that in most cases. Really, it really will.
Do you feel that they are watching us more than we're even aware of? They're right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They, because animals in their natural state are out in the open, and they have to be safe. I mean, an animal has to feel safe all the time, or they're in survival. So they watch us, and they can smell and see our energy at every change, And if somebody is like, happy, and then all of a sudden they get pissed off, they're going to know it in a heartbeat. And so they do watch us. Even a cat, when you think a cat's sleeping all the time, a cat is not sleeping all the time. They have their ears listening. They have their little noses smelling. And a lot of times they're just sort of looking at you through slit eyes. Cats are very aware of what's going on around them almost all the time. Yeah.
Wow. I try to read my cats as much as I can. And it's interesting how their personalities, I have two, so each one varies. But I've learned this from you. Even the best that you can do, it's their personality. If they don't want to do something, they're not going to do it, or they're not going to provide information to you.
Absolutely. You know, I can talk to an animal, but if an animal does not want to talk to me, there's not a lot you can do about it. You can, maybe, sort of bribe them into talking to you, maybe with a goodie or something. But there are animals that don't want to talk. They don't want people to know what they're thinking. They don't want an animal communicator to even come near them. And especially lost animals, we've talked about that. But animals, each individual animal, and if they are in a mood not to talk, you're not going to get much. You're not. I can pick up health issues without the animal telling me because, animals don't know they have cancer. They don't know that word. They know that they don't smell right, and they know they don't feel good. Just the other day, I had a client call, and I told her before she could say anything, I said, your cat is in kidney failure, and its liver enzymes are off. And she said, yeah, I just got the blood work back, and you're absolutely right. Well, the cat didn't know that. I picked that up just by tapping into the body and getting that reading from the cat's body. But most people can't do that. So, if the cat or the dog doesn't want to talk to you, they're not going to talk to you. However, I'm going to say most animals that are in a house where there's a good relationship between the human and the animals want you to know what they're feeling. They want to talk to you. The only time they really don't want to talk to you is when you're mad. They're like, nope, leave me alone. Talk to the paw because I'm out of here. But that's because the energy is so abrasive and so unbalanced that they'd rather not be in the room. But most animals want to talk to their owners. They want the human to know what they're feeling and how they're feeling. Probably the only exception is sometimes cats will hide their illness. They don't want their owners to know how sick they are.
Can you share, you've done this before, and I love it, in stories where you've worked with animals, you've communicated, you've detected something like you just said about that one animal that had a cancer issue. Would you even say that you're a medical intuitive? I
have been called that. I don't know if I would say that, but I've been on a couple of boards with a couple other medical intuitives, and I'm pretty good at it. So yeah, I pick up on those things almost instantly, and it really helps the reading to facilitate why the animal is acting a certain way. Why are they incontinent, sort of because they have kidney failure, or why are they doing certain things? It's because they're sick and this is what they can do. And so it really helps facilitate the reading and tell the owner what the animal is going through. Yeah.
Any recent stories that stand out on the medical side?
I have a client that her dog had to have some surgery in its paw, and it had some pins put in. The paw was broken and kind of messed up, and she had surgery done. And he was starting to heal pretty good. And then he was probably 3 months into this, and he decided to jump off the couch. And the funny thing is he lit on the other paw and yelped, and so she thought it was the other paw. And when I got in touch with her, I said, no, it's the paw with the hardware in it, and one of the screws has come completely out. I mean, it's very painful. And she rushed him to the emergency vet, and yeah, one of the screws had literally come out, and they had to rush him into surgery. So, it's things like that, sometimes I'm amazed at what I pick up on. It's like, oh dear, I'll pick up on cancers pretty easy, stomach cancer and brain tumors, those things. I don't know how that happens, but I'll pick up on them pretty easily. Yeah.
What are you getting when it's, let's say a cancer situation?
I will get, okay, for an example, if it's stomach cancer, when I get in touch with the energy of the animal, I will get a real upset stomach. And I'll kind of work through that upset stomach to see if it's just acid or if I actually feel like there's a tumor in there. So the things that I feel are pretty clear. I can feel a horse if his back end is hurting and tell them exactly where a horse is hurting, then they need to massage it. And if it's just a muscle or if it's something that is, they really need a vet to look at. So those things come to me pretty easy, and I can't tell you how. I can't tell you why, but I will feel the pain, and I have trained myself that when I feel the pain, it's like, okay, that's where the pain is. Now you have to let it go, because if I don't let it go, I have found that I'll stay in pain all day long. So I have to let it go. But I will feel where their pain is, and sometimes it's not real painful, but it makes me feel pain.
Wow.
Just like the cat the other day, where I said it's in kidney failure. Now kidney failure for cats really is not painful at all, and either his liver, the enzymes of the liver was way off, and that's not painful either. But what I told her was, I said, and that this cat has arthritis in its low spine and hips too. And she said, yeah, they took an x-ray. And I said, that's what's painful.
Unbelievable. Shirley, how do you trust what you get? Or is it just over a period of time?
It's over a period of time. And even to this day, sometimes I think, what did I just say? I don't remember a lot of my readings because, I do so many a year, but I kind of feel like, and I know I'm in this zone when I'm doing a reading, and what comes out of my mouth all the time, I don't remember. People call me and say, well, 3 weeks ago you told me, and I'll say, I don't remember, because it's not me that's really telling the information. I'm allowing the universe and the powers there kind of lead me through that. So if you want to say I go into sort of a state where I get out of my own way, that's what I do. And that makes it much easier. When I first started this work, there were times that I thought, I was crazy, for saying things. But a lot of my clients will email me, and I ask them to do it so that I know if I'm, right on or, if something's happening. But I will ask them to email me, after they've gone to the vet and after blood work, because, I do believe that animals need as much vet care as we can give them, holistically and regular. Those two need to work together with pets. And so, if I tell them that, I feel like there's something wrong in their stomach, I ask them to go get blood work or, get an x-ray, because that's the only way to really prove it.
I'm going to say this loosely, but and I think you'll understand where I'm going with it. When you're getting something now, is it almost like an out-of-body experience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then, after the reading, I kind of come back in and I hang up and I sit there for a minute and go, okay, I'm back. But it is almost like an out-of-body, because in a lot of cases, I hope people have heard of remote viewing.
I'm not sure what that means.
Remote viewing, the government did it back in the 70s, really big. But they picked psychics that could sit in a room and they would say, go to this latitude and longitude and tell me what you see. And so people would actually go there and tell them what they saw. And so sometimes I feel like I'm kind of doing a remote viewing because not that I will see the actual animal, but I see their energy. And so I'm sort of being transported to where the animal is. Yeah.
It's almost as if you have to get out of your head.
You do.
Wow.
You cannot take human emotions and do a fair and honest pet communication. Because pets, if pets thought like humans, they'd be human, I always tell people, dolphins don't know what world peace is. They won't say, I want world peace, but they'll say, I want peace in my world. And their world's a big one because they travel a lot of miles. But animals don't know what world peace is, but they know what peace in their world is. And they know what human emotion peace is. And so they go on that.
Yeah, that was extremely profound to think of, and they know what peace is. There's no doubt, I'm sure, as unfortunately many humans don't.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Most humans are worried about what they did in the past or what their, future is going to bring.
Yep.
Animals, they don't worry about the past. They remember the past. Yes, they have memories of their past, especially if it's a really bad one. But they don't think about what's going to happen in the future. And that's why a lot of times, animals do get hurt. A cat will be so focused on a mouse that it will run right out in traffic. It won't even hear the traffic because it's in that absolute moment, and that mouse is its total focus. And so us as humans have to remember that animals don't really go into the future. You can see a dog thinking, like, if I want to run out of the yard, I'm going to get in trouble again, aren't I? They'll remember that, and you can see them thinking that. But they don't really think about how it's going to end up later on. They know they'll probably get yelled at, but, it was so much fun to run out of the yard, It was just, so much fun. So they have memory, but they don't worry about things like we do. And that's one thing that we have to remember. You have to get out of this humanness of really reasoning what is going to happen in 5 minutes if you do something now, what's going to happen in 5 minutes.
So amazing talking about all of this. And once you start, like in our conversations, I've learned to interpret, send signals, get things back. And I'm just scraping the surface in the beginning of this. It's amazing. Shirley, how do we find you?
You can go to my website, which is shirley-scott.com. There's a dash between my first and last name, so it's shirley-scott.com. There is a contact page there, which is the easiest to email me because I'm usually on the phone, and I live so far out in the country, we don't have the call waiting or answering when I'm on the phone. We still have regular answering machines out here. So the easiest way is just go to my website, shirley-scott.com, email me, and I really try to get back to everybody in less than 24 hours because most of the time when somebody is wanting to communicate with their animal, it's really important. And if you put this as an emergency, I do everything to get back within a couple hours and to really help that pet because that's my life. My life is helping the animal kingdom.
Amazing talking with you. Nobody does it like you do it, and your passion is just over the top, and it's wonderful. Appreciate you being here today.
Thank you so much, Steve. Listen, you get over that cold, we'll send you some positive healing energy there.
I truly appreciate that.
Okay. All right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Have you ever wondered what your pet is thinking? Have you ever wanted to tell them something? Do you want to know what is going on in their world? Shirley Scott can help you talk to your animals. As an animal communicator with over 20 years of experience, she knows the questions to ask. She gets the answer right from the animal without letting her human emotions or judgments get in the way. Shirley can help you understand what your pet is trying to tell you. She can help with behavior issues, health problems, and other communication that might help the pet's human understand them better. Her books range from how to deal with ghosts and demons, how to talk to disembodied spirits, a workbook on how to become more positive so you can live a better life, a new children's book written from her goat's point of view, and even an animal communication CD. All of these and more are available on her website. Find out more about Shirley by going to her website at shirley-scott.com or email her at scott@shirley-scott.com. You'll find that Shirley is friendly, honest, and comes from a positive point of view. Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! It's now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.